everyone, I'm Rosie and welcome back to my channel. One of the most intimidating parts of making pie from scratch is getting the dough right. I'll show you the insanely easy way I make pie dough that works perfectly every time. My all butter pie crust recipe has a secret ingredient that makes it super flaky, easy to work with, and so delicious that you'll want to eat the crust all by itself. Let's get started. I'm measuring out 320 grams of flour. Bread flour is the only white flour I keep on hand, so feel free to use all-purpose flour if you have that instead. I add 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt and 2 teaspoons of white sugar. I'm also going to cut 8 ounces of cold salted butter into small cubes. I add the flour, salt, and sugar to the food processor and pulse a few seconds just to combine. And then I'm going to add the butter. I blend it for about 10 seconds. I find that I get the flakiest pie crust when there are no large chunks of butter left, just these small granules. Instead of adding the liquid to the food processor, I transfer the butter and flour mixture to a mixing bowl and then mix in the liquid in by hand. I add 5 tablespoons of ice water. And here's a secret ingredient: 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I know that sounds weird, but it really enhances the taste of the crust. Also, the acid interferes with some of the gluten development, making the final product super tender and flaky. I mix in the liquid by hand because I'm less likely to overwork the dough this way. If you've ever ended up with tough, almost chewy pie dough, it's most likely because the dough was overworked. Less is really more when handling pie dough. This still looks really crumbly, but resist the temptation to add more water to help the dough come together. Just mix well, and if you can pinch the crumbs and it holds together easily, you have enough water. I divide the dough in half by weight and form each portion into a disc. The dough will initially smell a bit acidic, but don't worry. Once you bake the dough, there won't be any acidity left and you'll just have incredible flavor. Each half is enough for a top or bottom crust. I wrap each half in plastic wrap twice and let the dough rest in the fridge for at least 12 hours or up to 3 days. Your pie dough needs to rest for the flour to fully hydrate, which will make your dough much easier to work with. This pie dough rolls out like a dream with no cracking or crumbling, and it's never broken apart on me when moving it to the pie pan. By the way, you could also make several batches at a time and freeze the discs, which is what I usually do so I don't have to get the food processor out each time. Just let the dough defrost in the fridge overnight and it'll be ready to use the next day. This crust works perfectly for fruit pies, savory pot pies, and quiche. If you want to see how I use this dough to make old-fashioned apple pie, I'll link that video below. I hope you give this recipe a try and let me know how it goes for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more easy cooking and baking videos, and say hi in the comments. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!